Yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Core Java session. So we are already starting multi-threading. Okay, we're already starting multi-threading. Okay, and maybe yesterday session we did not send yet till now. So we will share over the meeting, whoever attending the session. So let me delete this part. Okay. So yesterday session we need to share what we have completed till now. What is thread? What is runnable? Thread is a class. Runnable is an interface. How many ways we can create thread? These are the two ways. We have discussed use case, how to get and set the thread name, thread constructor, thread class constructor, thread class priority. Right? Today topic, how to prevent the thread from execution. Okay, now try to observe. When some thread is running, interview, they may ask in the interview also, any question from multi-threading, even any question can be core Java from interview question, right? But how many ways we can prevent thread from execution means running? We can prevent, we can stop thread execution by using below methods. What are the method names? The one is yield method. Yield method is there. The another method is join method. Another method is join method. The third method is what? Slip method. Using these three methods, we can able to stop the execution of the thread. Now, what is the functionality of this yield method? What is the functionality of yield method? Yield method will pause the current execution of the thread and give the chance to another thread. It will stop current thread and give chance to other thread right? It will stop current thread and give chance to other thread. That is what yield method, right? Give chance to, okay, now try to observe. We will see it practically. Before this, okay, now we have to discuss about waiting period also, na? To other thread with same priority. We can say with same priority, priority. Okay. Okay. We will discuss this point one by one. Okay. Okay. What it will do, this yield method will allow waiting of the thread which have low priority. Okay. It will allow waiting threads have the low priority. Okay. Now we will see practically. Okay. And if all the thread have the same priority, then we don't know what will be the order of execution. Okay. No. Let me open the program. This is simple program we have seen yesterday, right? We have how to set the priority. All these things we have seen. Now, let me remove this line. Right? Simple program. Test class, extend thread class. So what we are doing by this line? We are defining the thread. Okay? Thread class have start method called internally run method. Okay? Inside run method, whatever we are defining, that is a job of a thread. Logic inside the run method is a job of a thread. Right? Now try to observe. I am giving, this is one thread na. This is going to run by our thread, which we created. Right? Main method is run by which thread? Main thread. There are two threads in this program. One is main thread. Don't get confused between main method and main thread. Main method is a method, and thread means which is going to execute this, a job scheduler in the JVM, right? So main thread is called, main program is called by main thread. Now main thread come here, call this method, start method, right? Test is what? Our own defined thread. Test is what? When we are extending thread, we are defining thread. So test class, when we object create, means it is creating thread. Test.start, it will call multi-threading. This is the very first point. Without this start method, no multi-threading is there, right? So test.start will run method. What is our concept? How we can prevent the thread? How we can prevent the thread? So we need to call here. We need to call here. What we have to call here? Let's say I'm calling. I'm going inside this, and I'm just using thread dot yield method. See, yield method is coming, right? Yield method, thread dot yield method. Because this method is available where? This method in thread class. So call class name dot method name. Okay. Now we will see the output. Main, let me give you the name main thread, and this give as a child thread. Let's see what is our output now. Run the program. First, what is run? Main thread. After that, what is run? Child thread. Let me run this program multiple times. Main thread, all main thread, then child thread. All main thread, then child thread. Let me comment line number 7. Control question mark. Save this. Run this program. Run this program. See, main thread, then child thread, then main thread. So if we are not using the any normal execution of thread, then we don't know which output will run. Which output will run, we don't know. But the moment we start using this thread.yield method, what it is doing? It is stopping current execution. It is stopping current execution. Mean it will stop this execution and it will allow main method to run this program. Right? So every time, whenever it will go here, it will look, before that it will going to look, okay, thread dot yield. It will wait. It will allow this thread to run. Again, when it will come here, it will allow, it will check thread dot yield is there. It will going to run this main, allow main thread only. The number of time we are allowing main thread, child thread. The first main thread is going to run. Always main thread is going to run. Till now you are good, right? ठीक है? Now, ठीक है. Now, so now try to observe. Next is what? Join. Next is what? Join. Okay. Now try to understand what is join. Okay. You see yield method. This is join method. Okay. What is join method? What is join method? If a thread, if a thread wants to wait, completing some other thread, completing some other thread, then we should go for, then we should go for join method. Then we should go for join method. Yield method, what it is doing? It is stopping current thread. It is stopping current thread. But what happened? What happened? Join method, it is waiting for other thread to execution. Other thread to execution, right? Other thread to execution. Now try to observe. ठीक है? What is the syntax? Let me write the syntax for these also. For join public static native void yield. This is the syntax for this yield method. For join method, what is the syntax? There are three methods, right? What is the method? Public final void join throws. It is going to stop now. So interrupted exception. Interrupted exception it is going to throw. Interrupted exception is going to throw. So now copy this, paste here, paste here. Remove the space, remove the space. Join method. Okay, it is going to take some variable in millisecond. It is going to take time in millisecond and nanosecond. Okay, now try to observe. We can use this variable for how much duration we want this method to work. Now try to observe. Now try to observe. Now try to observe. Same program we are going to use. If you have any doubt, let me know. Doubt, let me know. I will again tell you. You have to understand this program. If you are good with this program, we can use join. Okay? Now, now try to observe. The same program is there, right? Class test thread. Again, what we are defining a thread. Test class becoming a thread class by using extend thread class. Now test class become thread class, right? We are defining a thread by a run method. Inside run method, we are defining some task to run method. Do this task. This is done by our thread class. Then main method is there. This main method triggered by main thread, right? Simple. Whenever we are calling test.start, it is going to call internally run method. Okay, you know, you have to think, always think in this way, right? Main start method is going to call run method. Okay, now what is our topic, guys? What is our topic? Our topic is t dot start. Sorry, t dot join method, right? That is our topic. Now try to observe. T dot join. Now try to observe. After test dot start, I am using test dot join. I am using test dot join. What is the error? Interrupted exception, right? Who is calling? Interrupted exception will come, right? Okay. Interrupted exception will come. Okay. Now, okay. Now run the program. Now what is coming output? First child, then main thread, right? Again run the program. Again run the program, right? Now try to observe. Okay. So what we are doing, we using this join method. What is our point? Join method. If a thread want to wait completing some other thread, then we should go for join method. Yield method, it will stop current thread. Means yield method is stopping current thread, right? Unless and until other thread is running. But join method is waiting. It will wait. It will wait for execution of the time for that particular duration. So we can pass time also for how much time we want to wait. How much time we want to wait, right? What is the constructor here? Sorry, method parameter long millisecond. In millisecond, let me give 10,000 millisecond. Can I give 10,000 millisecond? 10,000 millisecond. What does mean by 10,000 millisecond? I think 10 second, right? Okay. This can be, we can pass. So when we are commenting this line, now let me comment this line. The output, random output, right? We don't know. If we commenting line number 15, then both thread will run, main thread and child thread. Just think, main thread will trigger main method. Okay. And where is our child thread? We have created the object of test class. But whenever we are creating test class object and we are calling test start method, our child thread is initiated. Where, why, how we are defining test class as thread? By using this line extend thread or implement runnable. But situation will be different when we are using runnable and thread class. Already we have discussed. For now, we are using test class, extending thread class only. We are defining the thread test class as a thread class. We are defining a thread here. We are starting the thread. Internally start method will call runnable method. Okay. If you are not commenting this line, what will happen? If you are not commenting, main thread will wait because this will be run by main thread. Okay. Unless and until child thread is completed. Okay. Then only main thread will come. If I will uncomment that line and run the program, now observe. Save this program. Child is running first, then main thread is running, right? Okay. Now try to observe. Okay. Now try to observe. Now we are going to discuss in detail also. Now, what is our next topic? We are going to discuss different use case also. Just high level first try to understand this. Okay. Now, what is sleep method? Okay. If any thread want to perform any operation for particular amount of time, okay, for particular duration we want that it should run, then we will use what? Sleep method. Okay. Now try to observe. How many methods are there? Two methods is there. Public static, public static, public static native, void. Sleep method is there. We can pass time duration. It is going to throw same interrupted exception. Copy this time duration. The next, copy this same method. Paste here, comma, int of nanosecond. Okay, copy this. Let's see some methods inside Control Shift H. We will open thread class. Open this thread class. Control F. Sleep. Now try to observe. Where is sleep? This is sleep, right? What is the description? Cause the current executing thread to sleep for specific number of milliseconds, subject to precisely accuracy of system timer and scheduler. Right? This is sleep. Right? What is millisecond? The length of time to sleep in millisecond. Right? Now come here, come down. Sleep. What is long and nano? Try to understand. Millis. The length of time to sleep in millisecond. What is in second parameter nanos? Additional nanosecond to sleep. From 0 to this number we can pass. Okay, additional time. Like we have time, hours, hours, minutes, second. Then similarly millisecond and nanosecond. Okay. Now come here. Where is yield method? This is yield method. Right? What is yield method? A hint to scheduler that current thread is willing to yield its current use of processor. The scheduler is free to ignore this hint. Yield is the attempt to improve relative progression between threads that would otherwise overutilize CPU. It uses a combined with detailed profiling and benchmarking to ensure its actual the desired effect. The explanation is there, but simple thing. What is our yield method is going to do? Yield method is going to simple. wait for another thread, stop current thread and give another thread of same priority. ठीक है? Similarly, yield sleep. Let me search join. See join method. Here is the join method, right? Join method. ठीक है? What is milli? First parameter, time to wait in millisecond. What is nano? Additional nanosecond to wait. ठीक है? What is going to throw? Interrupted exception. ठीक है? Come to our program. This is our program, right? Simple program, right? Now try to observe. Instead of this, let me add some. Instead of this, let me add test dot or thread dot sleep method. Thread dot sleep method. ठीक है? Sleep method. Let me give 3000. ठीक है? Let me give 3000. Now run the program. Try to observe the output, guys. It is waiting. It will take a pause of 3 seconds prior to observe. Run as Java application. Thread child thread. 3 seconds it will wait. Main thread run route. Right? Try to observe again. Again I am running. The moment it will come here. ठीक है? It is calling the what? First it is calling start method, then run method, then let me uncomment this line. Child thread will be printed, then control will come here. So it will wait for 3 seconds after before running this. Okay, now try to observe. Here, when it will reach here, line number 14, before running this for loop for main method, main thread, it will wait for 3 seconds. Try to observe. Child thread run 1, 2, 3, right? After this, let me give 10,000. Some duration I will increase so that you can able to notice. Child thread run. Now do you wait for 10 seconds? After that, only main method will run. Now, after 10 seconds, main method run, right? So this is how we can use these three method. We can use these three method, right? To interrupt the thread. Interrupt the thread. Okay. So you should know what is the difference between this three yield method and run method. Sorry, yield, join and sleep. Right? Try to observe. This is your yield method. This is your join method. And this is your sleep method. Okay. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of yield method? The purpose of yield method is to pause current execution and give chance to other thread. This is what the purpose of what? This is what the purpose of what? Yield method. What is the purpose of join method? ठीक है? It will, if you want to make thread wants to wait until completion some other thread, then we should go for join thread. ठीक है? Now what is sleep thread? Sleep method. Thread don't want to perform don't want to perform some operation for particular duration, then we can use this sleep method, right? These are the purpose, objective, you can say, use, where we are using this, where we are using the use of this method, right? Now, which one is static method? So this is static method. Yield is a static method. Join is not a static method, it is instance method. Similarly, sleep is what? Static method. If somebody is asking difference, you should understand and explain on the basis of this static method. Okay? Which one is final method? Only this method is join method is final. Okay? Join method is final. Yield method is not final. Okay? This is also not final. Sleep method. Okay? Which one is overloaded? Which one is overloaded? It is not overloaded, right? But these two methods are overloaded. We have seen two methods with long and int microsecond parameters, right? It is overloaded. Which is throwing interrupted exception, IE exception. Is it throwing? No. But it is throwing, right? Interrupted exception. These are throwing interrupted exception also, right? Okay. So based on this, you can able to explain, okay, the difference between yield, join, and sleep method. Okay, now, okay. Now try to observe interruption of a thread. How we can interrupt a thread? Okay, interruption of thread by another thread. There are two threads, na. Till now, what we are using? We are using method, right? To change the execution, sleep, yield, and join. Now we want to interrupt a thread using another thread. Okay, we can have one method called when we use this concept, when we want one thread to interrupt another thread, then we will use which method? Interrupt method. This is the method we have to use. This is the method we are going to use. Okay. Now, what is the syntax? Public void interrupt. Public void interrupt. This is the syntax. Okay. Now, come here in our program, right? Same program is there, right? One line we are changing and understanding the functionality. So we have test class, extend thread class, defining a thread. We have run method. We are defining a job. Okay. Now try to observe. We have one main method, which is called by main thread. We are creating our object for test class. Then we are starting without start, we cannot start the object. Now, instead of this thread, let me remove this. Can we use interrupt test.interrupt, 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 right? Now, okay, now try to observe the output. So, when we are using this, okay, So what happened? The main thread interrupt child thread. Main thread interrupt child thread. Okay, and hence child is not running. Who is running first? Main thread. Try to observe, guys. Again, try to observe. Run. Okay, now try to observe. When I comment this line. When I comment this line, save this. So when we are commenting this line, okay, the main thread won't interrupt. Okay, and child thread and hence thread will continue in its completion. Okay. If you are not commenting this line, what is happening? Main thread interrupt child thread. Main thread. Let me comment this line. Now try to observe this. For more precisely, let me remove this loop. Okay. Main thread, child thread. Okay. So when we are not using this, when we are commenting line number 1, so main thread won't interrupt this child thread. Okay, and child thread will be continued. Okay, child thread will be run. Okay, if we are commenting this line, we are not commenting this line. Let me uncomment this. Okay, now what happened in that case? Main thread interrupt child thread. Okay, and hence main child thread won't continue. Okay, now try to observe. Maybe little confusing it is. Okay, we will see in more detail with different programs, then you will understand this. Okay, now done. Guys, whenever we are using this interrupt now, these are not reflected immediately. We cannot see this in this program, but this can be we can observe when we are using some different program. I will show you where we can see this interruption, how it is interrupted. whatever I am telling you, the interrupt, we are not able to observe this, right? So there may be some confusion, right? In the both the situation, the output is same, right? But what is happening is it is the case of interruption. We will see in some program, another program, how we can use this test dot interrupt to understand the concept of interruption of one thread with another thread. Okay. Now I'll use another example tomorrow. Okay. I have another call, so I have to jump in that call. Let me stop my screen share. I'm stopping my recording.